Hi, welcome to the Keys podcast with Victor Kyerematen and
Emmanuel Mate-Kole.
nice to meet you, Emmanuel.
Nice to meet
Thanks
you.
for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Emmanuel is a real estate lawyer, and he's been a real estate lawyer in Ghana for about 12 years. And so, today he's going to take us through what the Ghanaian real estate industry is, its structures, its challenges, and its opportunities. So, Emmanuel, how did you get into real estate and law?
Yes, I had a challenge with public speaking, and in order to overcome that challenge, I felt that a subject like law would help me do that, to build my confidence. So along the line, I developed an interest in law, and that's how come I became a lawyer. Now, with regards to how I got into real estate. I started my practice with Bentiencho Lechan and Kuma, which is it's a reputable law firm in Ghana, and I was assigned to the real estate and infrastructure practice group. So I was doing real estate in Bentiencho for over 8 years, and then I left Bentiencho and set up my own law firm called M&O Law Consults.
So, Ghanaian real estate, could you give us like a general overview of the real estate industry in Ghana?
Real estate transactions or actually have been ongoing since time immemorial. I mean, even before the advent of colonialism, where people owned lands in Ghana. It's just that the ownership was not transactional. People owned lands because they started farming on the land and it became theirs. Land was not really seen as a rare commodity like it is seen now. So anybody could own land once you could do something with it. However, when the British started trading with us, then they started also acquiring lands, and then they passed a law to enable them create an interest in the land which will serve as notice to the world. So, for instance, if there's a law which says that if you own land, it has to be registered at a certain registry, it means that once that is done, the land becomes yours.
Yes.
Does it make sense? So, in the 19th century, they passed a law which required that if there's a transaction between me and you, it will be recorded at a registry called the Lands Commission. And the Lands Commission, it will state that Emmanuel and Victor entered into a lease agreement dated to so and so over a particular piece of land. And then eventually, it means that Emmanuel has now given his interest to Victor, so Victor is now the owner of the land. So that essentially was the 19th century law that was passed. Unfortunately, this 19th century law has been used by us, for many years till 2000. To December 2020, where we passed the Land Act. Under the Land Act, now, so first of all, this system has remained with us, but it was in 1985 that we passed a law called the Land Title Registration Act. Under the Land Title Registration Act, Accra, Tema, Kumasi, and some parts of Winneba, Utu Senya, were declared registration districts. So these areas, when you register land in these areas, you are given a land title certificate. But all the other areas in Ghana were still operating under the system that the British left us, which is the deeds registry system. So in that system, your name is just recorded at the Lands Commission that the land now belongs to you. But with the title registration system, they are given a land title certificate, which shows that you own the land. Do you get me?
Yes.
But then there's a lot of disadvantages with this system. That's why the Land Title Registration Act was passed. However, under the new Land Act, now it's not just the registration of the deed, but you're also given a certificate to show that you own the land.
Okay.
Under the new Land Act,
Yes.
there's a certificate that should be issued, which shows that you own the land. It's not the same as the land title certificate, though, but it's a certificate which shows that you own the land, which I think is a step in the right direction.
Tell us, like, what has been your experience in the Lands Commission, and are there things that you've seen that can be improved, or things that you think are great in comparison to other, land maybe commission or authorities? And
Well, I mean, for me, my experience with the Lands Commission has been that of an institution that, you know, wants to remain the same. I don't see growth. My experience 11 years ago is the same experience today.
I believe right now technology is, something that is pushing the world forward, and leaving those who don't take the mantle are left behind. So I'm wondering, what do you think the role of technology can be within our real estate industry as a whole in Ghana?
Well, I mean, if technology is is a tool that can be used to store data, and also transmit data in an efficient and a swift manner. So I believe that if they could utilize this technology to expedite things at the registry, it would make transactions go faster, and then in that way it will bring about a lot more confidence in investors will have more confidence to invest in the country, because nobody is going to put their money in an economy and would have to wait for a year or two before they get a land certificate. So if this process can be streamlined and made more efficient and effective, and people can get certificates in a week or 2 weeks, then there will be a lot more transactions taking place, and we can all make some money.
Could you tell us a little bit about how secure the process is for buying land or buying real estate in Ghana?
First things first, before you can secure your interest in land, I would advise you to engage a lawyer. Because it's not because I'm a lawyer, but it's because the Land Act provides that it's only a lawyer that can do a conveyance. Yes, any conveyance drafted by a non-lawyer is void, and it's even a criminal offense. So that's one. Number two, I would also advise that you conduct a search at the Lands Commission, because that's a requirement by law, that if you want the law or the judge to say that you've acted in good faith, then you must have done a search at the Lands Commission to verify the ownership of the person selling the land to you. Then I'd advise that you do a litigation check at the courts, and then a search at the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority to confirm if the land has been zoned for the purpose for which you intend to use it for. Now, the reason why a search at the Lands Commission is imperative is that the law provides that a search is conclusive evidence of ownership. So, in actual fact, anything else that you see is not conclusive evidence of ownership. A land certificate is not conclusive evidence of ownership. An indenture is not conclusive evidence of ownership. It is a search at the Lands Commission that is conclusive evidence of ownership. So in fact, if we are in court and somebody should bring a land certificate and I bring a search which contradicts the land certificate, the search will trump the land certificate.
Wow, that's very, very interesting information. So I'd like to find out about financing in real estate in Ghana. There's a whole issue about gaining or having the right amount of capital to invest in land or to buy property, whether it's land or a house, or and so there are different instruments that are available in other industries, real estate industries, that are now being built up in Ghana. For instance, mortgages. And then so I was wondering if you could just give us a little overview of the financing structures that are available to us here in Ghana for investing.
Okay, well, I mean, yes, mortgages are a typical example, but in order for you to be able to access a mortgage, you must have land, which you can mortgage. So that is one. Then there are also other arrangements. For instance, people could also have some kind of agreements. I mean, I'm just giving you practical examples.
Exactly.
People also have some kind of agreements with the land sellers, where the land sellers contract them to sell the lands and then they pay them a percentage. So in that way, it's like a partnership or a JV with the land owner. You don't necessarily have to bring any money up front. So, that's another way of financing. There are so many financing arrangements. These are a few of them. Yeah.
So, this is one question I wanted to ask. Could you explain to our viewers what a conveyance is?
Oh yes, I'm sorry I didn't break it down. A conveyance is a transfer, an indenture, a lease. It is all of the above. Essentially, when you see, if I want to give something to you, I'll stretch out my hand and hand it over to you like this, right? And then you take it. In law, the language you use is conveyance. That I'm giving you something.
Exactly.
So it could be a lease, it could be an assignment, it could be an indenture, it could be anything. I mean, that transfers interest from one person to the other.
Okay.
But mainly lease, sublease, tenancy, and indenture.
Yes, thank you for the explanation.
Yeah.
So for my research, I found out that in Ghana there's the status quo where, or this might be recent from the new Land Act, but that land, the conveyance of land is not necessarily permanent sometimes, or it may be up to 99 years and may return to the original owner. Could you give us a little bit more clarity on that situation?
Yeah, I see a lot of foreigners find that strange.
Yeah.
I indicated initially that at the beginning of the presentation that, our land ownership has been communal from the beginning. And we have managed to maintain it even in our laws, such that if land belongs to a stool, the community can use the land and everything, but the stool never loses the land. You get me?
Exactly.
The community will use it, they will pass it on to the next generation, all that, but then it's still stool land. Family land too, same, clan land same. And that's the rationale behind this limited term of years. The rationale is that if land is given to you for forever, and you're giving land in perpetuity, it means that the land will be lost to the stool. So what it means is that the next generation will not benefit from the land. The current generation has benefited by taking money from you, but the unborn have not benefited. The general principle in our customary law is that the land is supposed to benefit those existing and the unborn, or the yet to be born.
Yes.
So if that's the idea, then you cannot be selling land forever.
Yeah.
Then under the new Land Act, you could not give a freehold interest in stool land under the old law. But under the new Land Act from December 2020, you cannot even sell a freehold interest in clan and family land.
Wow.
So now all of them are supposed to be giving a leasehold, not a freehold.
And this lease is renewed?
So it's impliedly renewable for Ghanaian citizens. So if you're a Ghanaian, implied by operation of law, you are entitled to an automatic renewal. However, if you are a non-Ghanaian, then it is advisable for you to have it expressed in the lease. So you have it. So in the lease agreement, after the consideration clause, you are paying 100,000 cedis. Then you see that, but with a right to renew for another 50 years. And let me just add that even non-Ghanaians can also now have an implied renewal. Yeah, this is a tip from a lawyer.
Yeah.
And this is because the new Land Act also makes provision for companies that have a shareholding, a Ghanaian shareholding of 60% to be called Ghanaians.
Wow.
So if you're a foreigner and you have 40% interest and you give 60% to a Ghanaian, your company is a Ghanaian. So you can have a lease and it will be impliedly renewed after the term expires.
Wow. What advice would you give? I mean, all the advice so far could apply to foreigners in a way, but what advice would you specifically give to somebody who's not Ghanaian coming from abroad who wants to invest in Ghanaian land or real estate?
Yeah, I mean, for me, based on my experience, I see that things work abroad differently from here. Some people abroad would rely on the advice of a real estate agent, you know, to buy land. But in Ghana, I mean, based on the law currently, the functioning law, the only people who are licensed to advise on real estate are lawyers. So I would advise that even though they can come through an agent, the advice should be coming from a lawyer. Because if you don't use the right kind of professionals, you are most likely to end up in trouble. Most likely.
Definitely. So, would you tell us what your personal thoughts about the quality of Ghanaian land or real estate as compared to your experience in general?
Yeah, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. In fact, a lot of the foreigners who have contacted me are not even looking for lands in Accra or cantonments. Yes, they are looking to buy lands in the eastern region, Cape Coast, places that places that even me, a Ghanaian, I haven't thought of acquiring land. So we are in interesting times, and I'm happy that the new law has finally come. There are a lot of provisions in there that will protect or can protect an investor. And clearly, if you follow the right channels and you do the right things, you'll be protected by the law.
How do you build your network as a real estate lawyer in Ghana?
Well, it's about relationship. So if you provide a good customer service to a client, and the client speaks well of you, and based on that word, somebody calls you, it means that you built another relationship on that first relationship, and that is how it keeps growing. So it's organic, it's just by doing one good deed, and then the rest follows. So just make sure that anybody you are dealing with, you are giving of your best. Give them gold, and you get gold in return.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel, for being here with us today. It's been a great conversation, detailed conversation, so much practical information and advice that could help our viewers in their search for real estate and land in Ghana. We'd love to have you again sometime.
Thanks. I'll be happy to join you again. All right.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed this video from the Keys Podcast. For more great content, like this video and make sure to subscribe to our channel. This video was brought to you by Base Point Studios and Seso Global, your one-stop shop for digital real estate transactions.